All right, today we are cracking open the 2026 Profit Guide. Our mission? To find side hustles that are actually built to last. We're not talking about those trendy things that are here today, gone tomorrow. We're hunting for real resilience. So let's just dive right in.
And this right here, this is the big question for us today. Just forget about all those get-rich-quick schemes you see plastered all over social media. We're on the hunt for a genuine hidden gem, an opportunity that actually works because nobody else is looking at it.
So why are we so obsessed with this idea of resilience? Well, because in this economy, where things change on a dime, chasing the latest trend is just a fast track to burning out. A resilient hustle, though, that's about building something solid, something with real long-term legs.
Now, this definition is pretty much our treasure map. We're looking for three key things. 1, a skill people will always need. 2, something that isn't just a flash in the pan. And 3, a service that a robot can't just, take over tomorrow. That's the winning combo right there.
Okay, so before we get to the main event, the guide gives us a couple of foundational hustles. You can think of these as the usual suspects, the reliable, well-known paths. They're solid, for sure, but they're also going to help us see exactly why we need to dig a little deeper.
And here they are. Freelance content creation and e-commerce dropshipping. Now, you've definitely heard of these, right? And there's a good reason for that. They're easy to get into, and they can be profitable. Let's just quickly touch on what they are.
First up, content creation. This is all about using your creative side, writing articles, designing logos, editing videos for companies that are desperate to get noticed online. It's super flexible, and the demand is pretty much always there.
And then you've got dropshipping. The big draw here is that you barely need any money to start, since you're not buying a warehouse full of stuff. But, and this is a big but, the competition is absolutely brutal. And this is the perfect setup for why we need to find a space that isn't so crowded. All right, this is it. This is the moment we've been waiting for. We've looked at the common stuff. Now it's time to pull back the curtain on the one opportunity that this guide claims almost everyone overlooks, even though it has massive potential. But before I tell you what it is, we really need to understand why it's ignored. Because the reasons people pass on it are the very things that make it so powerful. It has this kind of natural moat around it that keeps most of the competition out. Just look at this opportunity. It's not sexy. It's not going to get you a viral video. People see it as boring or too technical, and it demands real, focused work, not some quick win. But you have to see these aren't drawbacks, they're a filter. They stop the market from getting completely flooded.
So, with all that said, what is this game-changing side hustle that's been hiding right under our noses?
There it is. B2B technical writing and documentation. Okay, I know it doesn't exactly scream excitement, but just think about what this actually is. We're talking user manuals, training guides for companies, and those API guides that basically teach different software how to talk to each other. It's the critical instruction manual that makes complicated tech usable for the rest of us. And if you're not quite sold yet, just look at that number, $6,500 for an average project. Why so much? Well, because every single piece of complex software equipment needs clear instructions. Companies are desperate for people who can turn complicated jargon into simple, clear steps, and they will pay top dollar for it. So the big lesson from technical writing is pretty clear. Find an essential need that other people think is boring. Now let's take that same idea and apply it to a couple more tech-focused opportunities that are really starting to pop up. The guide points to 2 more really interesting areas. First, creating super specific newsletters with a little help from AI. And second, building simple but useful apps for businesses without having to write a single line of code. It's all about using new tools to solve old problems.
So let's zoom in on that newsletter idea. The secret sauce here is that term hyper niche. Don't start a newsletter about marketing. No way. Start one for, dentists in the Pacific Northwest who use a specific type of booking software. Use AI to help you find and write the content, then sell subscriptions. It's focused, it's super valuable to that small group, and it's totally scalable.
And what about this no-code development? This is a huge opportunity. Think about all the small businesses out there, your local coffee shop, a personal trainer. They all need custom apps for things like appointments or loyalty cards, but they can't afford a whole team of developers. With these no-code tools, you can be their hero, their affordable solution.
But hey, resilience isn't just about being a tech whiz. The guide makes it really clear that some of the strongest opportunities are all about service and being human.
In a world that's getting more automated, these kinds of gigs, the ones that need empathy, are more valuable than ever.
And this list really gets to the core of it, right? It's about solving real human problems. We're talking about patient-friendly tech support for seniors, or taking old stuff and creatively turning it into new, sustainable products, or even creating one-of-a-kind local tours that an algorithm could never dream up.
And this slide just nails the difference. Calling a generic IT helpline, that's a transaction. But patiently showing someone how to use their new tablet in their own home, that's a relationship. You're not just fixing a Wi-Fi problem, you're building trust. And that is something people will gladly pay for and tell all their friends about.
So we've covered a lot of ground, from technical writing to AI newsletters to personalized tech support. They all seem so different on the surface, but there's a really powerful idea, a common thread that connects every single one of them.
And there it is. This is really the main point of the entire guide. The real value, the real money, isn't in the trendy, easy stuff. It's hidden. It's hidden in the work that's a little complex, a little boring, or it requires a deeply human touch. The work most people just aren't willing to do.
So, if you're gonna remember anything, remember this. First, building something resilient will always beat chasing a trend. Second, actively look for those boring problems, because that's where there's less competition. And finally, specialize. Don't be a jack of all trades, become the absolute best at one specific thing. That is the real path to building something that lasts.
So we've unpacked the big ideas from the guide, from the secret power of technical writing to the real value of human connection. The map is officially in your hands now. So the only question left is, which one of these paths are you going to explore?